50,000 Romans are screaming your name. The sand beneath your feet is warm. It's warm because the last man's blood hasn't dried yet. You are the most famous athlete in the Roman Empire. Women carve your name into walls. Senators pay fortunes to sit beside you at dinner. And tonight, you will sleep in a locked cell because you are property. You are a slave who kills for applause. This is what it's like to be born as a gladiator, and why almost none of them made it past 27. Age 9. Capture. You are born somewhere Rome doesn't care about. Thrace, Gaul, Germania, the edge of the known world. You speak a language the Romans call barbaric. You worship gods they have never heard of. You are no one to them. Your father is a farmer or a soldier. It doesn't matter, because when you are 9 years old, the legions come. Your village burns. Your father fights and dies in the doorway of your home. Your mother is pulled into a column of prisoners you will never see again. You are chained at the wrists, marched barefoot across hundreds of miles, sold at auction in a Roman market. A man walks the line of captives. He opens your mouth to check your teeth, squeezes your arms, makes you squat, stand, turn around. He is shopping, and you are the product. A man buys you. His name doesn't matter. What matters is his profession. He is a lanista, an owner and trainer of gladiators. In Roman society, his status is equal to a pimp, but his income is equal to a senator's. He doesn't see a child. He sees an investment, and your training begins immediately. Age 12. The ludus. You are brought to a gladiator school. A ludus. In Rome, the largest one sits right next to the Colosseum. The ludus magnus, connected to the arena by an underground tunnel. You sleep in a cell barely wide enough to lie down. The door locks from the outside. You wake before dawn. Breakfast is barley porridge and water, sometimes dried fish. Romans call gladiators hordearii, barley men. It's not a compliment, but there's a reason for the diet. Your trainers want you fat. A layer of fat over your muscles means a sword cut bleeds impressively for the crowd without hitting anything important. You are being engineered to bleed beautifully. Training starts on a wooden post called a palace. You hit it 1,000 times a day with every angle your doctor demands. Your practice sword is called a ludus. It's made of wood, and it weighs twice as much as a real blade. Your training shield is heavier than the one you'll carry into the arena. When you finally hold real weapons, they will feel like feathers. That's the point. You train until your muscles deform the bones underneath. Archaeologists can identify gladiator skeletons just by the shape of their arm bones. Your trainer is called a doctor. He is a former gladiator who survived long enough to stop fighting. He walks with a limp. He teaches you footwork first, then defense, then, only then, how to attack. Because in the arena, defense keeps you alive. Offense just entertains the crowd. He also teaches you how to die well, because in Rome, how you die matters more than whether you die. You train 6 hours a day in a sand courtyard watched by 3,000 spectators who paid to watch you practice. Romans don't just watch the games, they watch the rehearsals. You are entertainment even when you're not bleeding. At night, you drink a mixture of bone ash, charred wood, and vinegar. It tastes like dirt. It strengthens your skeleton for the impacts to come. You are locked in your cell by 9. The door is solid. The walls are stone. There is a small window above your head that lets in enough moonlight to remind you the sky still exists. After a year, the doctor assigns you a fighting class. This will define the rest of your life, however long that is. Age 14. Your class. If you are big and strong, you become a murmillo. Heavy armor, tall shield, short sword called a gladius. Your helmet has a fish crest on top. The crowd calls you the fishman. You fight like a Roman legionary. Slow, heavy, relentless. If you are fast, you become a thraex, a Thracian, small curved sword called a sicca, small shield, high-crested helmet with a griffin. You? Slash where the armor isn't. Legs, flanks, back of the knee. You are a surgeon with a blade. And if the doctori sees something different in you, speed, reflexes, showmanship, you become a retiarius, the net fighter. Your weapons are a weighted net, a trident, and a dagger. You wear almost no armor, no helmet. Your face is bare. The crowd sees your eyes, your fear, your pain. Every expression. The retiarius is the most exposed fighter in the arena, and the most popular. Your opponent will be a secutor, the pursuer, built specifically to hunt you. Heavy armor, smooth helmet with only 2 tiny eye holes, designed so your net slides right off. He is slow. You are fast. He is armored. You are naked. The crowd loves it because one of you will break first. The crowd doesn't just want to watch you fight, they want to watch you feel. Every grimace, every flinch, every breath. But none of this matters yet, because you are still a tyro, a raw recruit, and the arena doesn't care about recruits. Your first fight is coming, and you have a 1 in 3 chance of dying in it. Age 16, first blood. The night before your first fight, they give you a banquet. The cena libera, real meat, wine, honey cakes, as much as you want. Romans call it the Last Supper, because for some of you sitting at this table, it is. Spectators are allowed to attend. They walk among you, sizing you up, placing bets, pointing at your arms, your scars, your eyes. You are livestock on display, and the auction is tomorrow. The next morning, a procession enters the arena. Trumpets, lictors carrying the fasces, the symbol of power over life and death. Statues of the gods are carried in to witness what happens next. Then, you walk out, into the light. The noise hits you like a wall. 50,000 people, screaming, stomping, chanting. The ground vibrates. You have trained for 4 years. You have hit the palace 10,000 times. You have sparred with veterans who left bruises on your ribs. But nothing prepares you for this. The man standing across from you is not a wooden post. He is another human being holding a weapon designed to open your body. And he wants to live just as badly as you do. The referee drops his hand. You fight. It's nothing like practice. It's faster. It's louder. Your arms burn after 90 seconds. Your opponent's blade catches your arm. You feel heat first, then wet, then pain. But the fat under your skin is doing its job. The cut bleeds like a river. The crowd gasps, but the muscle beneath is untouched. You keep fighting. His shield drops 2 inches. Just 2 inches. And you drive your blade into the gap between his shoulder and his neck. He falls. He raises one finger. Missio, he is asking for mercy. The crowd roars. The editor of the games, the man who paid for all of this, looks at the audience. He turns his thumb. Your opponent lives. Today, you are given a palm branch, a symbol of victory. The crowd chants a name you barely recognize. It's your name, and something changes in your chest. Something dangerous. You liked it. Age 18 to 20. 4. The peak. Gladiators fight 2 to 3 times a year. Not every week, not every month. 2 or 3 bouts. That's it. The rest of the time, you train, you eat, you heal, you wait, and you become famous. Your face is painted on tavern walls across Rome. Women scratch your name into pottery. Graffiti in Pompeii calls you the heartthrob of the girls. Rich women visit the ludus after dark. They pay the lanista for an hour with you. Senators' wives, merchants' daughters. You are a celebrity, a sex symbol, the most dangerous man in the city. Children play with clay figurines shaped like you. Merchants sell oil lamps with your image pressed into the clay. Poets write verses about your victories. Mosaics in wealthy homes depict your most famous kills. And you sleep in a locked cell every night, on a straw mat, behind a door that only opens from the outside. Because none of the fame is yours. Every coin you earn belongs to your owner. Every fight you win makes him richer, not you. If your owner decides to sell you, you are sold. If he decides to rent you to another city's games, you go. You have no say. You are a racehorse that can hold a sword. Between fights, some gladiators work outside the arena, as bodyguards for politicians, debt collectors for loan sharks, hired muscle for anyone who can pay the lanista's fee. You are rented out like equipment and returned when the job is done. By age 20, you've survived 8 fights. Each one leaves marks your body will carry forever. A deep scar across your left thigh from a Thrax's curved blade, a crushed knuckle from a shield bash you barely survived, a notch in your collarbone where a trident prong missed your throat by an inch. Your ribs have been cracked twice. Your nose has been broken 3 times. Your left ear doesn't hear as well since a helmet strike in your 6th fight. The ludus has doctors, surprisingly good ones. The physician Galen, one of the greatest medical minds in history, trained at a gladiator school in Pergamon. They stitch you, set your bones, pack your wounds with vinegar and honey. They feed you that bone ash drink to keep your skeleton from shattering. Not because they care about you, because you cost more than a house, and a dead gladiator earns nothing. You survive your 10th fight, then your 12th. Your name is chanted louder now. But here's what the crowd doesn't see. Every fight you survive raises the stakes for the next one, because now they match you against better opponents, faster, stronger, hungrier, and every year you get a little slower, a little stiffer. The scars pull when you raise your arm. The average gladiator lives to 27. Most die between their 20th and 30th birthday after 5 to 34 fights. You are 24. You have fought 14 times. You have won 12. The clock is ticking, and there is only one way to stop it. The Rudis. Freedom. In Rome, a gladiator can earn his freedom. It is called manumission. The symbol is a wooden sword, the rudis, the same practice weapon you trained with as a boy. If the editor of the games decides you've earned it, after years of victories, after filling the arena, after making him rich, he can hand you the rudis, and you are free. But free means something different for a gladiator. You are now infames, a man of disgrace, legally free, but socially lower than a merchant, lower than a prostitute. You cannot vote, cannot hold office, cannot testify in court. The empire that chanted your name now treats you like dirt on its sandal. And here's the cruelest part. Many gladiators who receive the rudis walk out of the arena, taste freedom for a month, 2 months, a year, and come back voluntarily. They sign new contracts with the ludus. They re-enter the arena as retiarius, freed fighters who choose to fight again. Some do it for the money. A single winning bout pays more than a laborer earns in a year. But most come back for the only thing the outside world can't give them: purpose. The arena is the only place they've ever mattered, the only place anyone knew their name. Outside these walls, they are infames, invisible, unmarriable, unemployable for anything except violence. The roar of 50,000 people is a drug, and freedom is withdrawal. Age 26, the last fight. You feel it before the fight starts. Something is different today. Your shoulder aches. Your left knee hasn't been right since that secutor drove his shield into it 2 years ago. You are slower now, half a step, maybe less. But in the arena, half a step is everything. Your opponent is 19, hungry, undefeated. He has fresh legs and empty scars. The trumpets sound. The crowd screams your name one more time. But today the name sounds different. It sounds like a memory already fading. You fight, and for 2 minutes you are the man you were at 18. Fast, precise, reading his footwork before he knows what he's doing. The crowd is on its feet. They remember why they loved you. Then your knee buckles, just for a heartbeat. And his trident catches you below the ribs, 3 prongs, deep. You go down. The sand fills your mouth. It tastes like iron and salt. The sand is warm again. You can hear everything. The crowd, the trumpets, your own breathing. You raise one finger. Missio, mercy. The editor looks at the crowd. You have given them 10 years, 100 scars, 15 victories. You have bled on this sand more times than you can count. And now your fate comes down to a thumb. In the 1st century, a defeated gladiator has a 75% chance of receiving mercy. By the 3rd century, that number drops to 50. You don't know what century you're in. You only know the sand is warm, and the crowd is deciding. They grant you mercy. Today, you are carried to the ludus infirmary. The doctors pack your wound, set the cracked rib, tell you to rest. But you know what they don't say. You are too slow now. The next opponent will be faster. The next crowd might not be as kind. And gladiators don't retire. They stop being profitable. And when that happens, the lanista has no reason to feed you. Age 27. The sand. The average gladiator dies at 27. That's not a guess. It comes from headstones, real ones, dug up by archaeologists. And most gladiators don't get headstones, which means the real average is probably lower. If you are lucky, you receive the rudis. You walk out, you become a trainer, a doctor, a referee. You teach the next generation of boys how to bleed beautifully. The cycle repeats. If you are unlucky, your story ends on the sand. The rules of a good death are simple. Do not beg. Do not cry out. Offer your throat. Direct the blade yourself. A gladiator who dies well is carried from the arena on a couch with dignity. A gladiator who dies badly is dragged out by hooks through a gate called the Porta Libitinensis, the gate of death. You are stripped of your armor. Your throat is cut to confirm you are dead. Your body is thrown into a mass grave outside the city walls. No name, no marker. The city that screamed for you forgets you by morning. 50,000 people watched you fight. Not one of them will visit your grave, because you don't have one. The sand is raked clean. New sand is poured on top of the old. Your blood disappears beneath it. By afternoon, another fight begins. The crowd cheers a new name. And tomorrow, a new boy arrives at the ludus, captured from Gaul or Thrace or the edge of the world, chained at the wrists, sold at auction. He is 9 years old. He doesn't know what a gladiator is. But the lanista sees him, nods, pays the price, and the cycle begins again. You were the most famous man in Rome, and Rome never knew your real name.